Waiting for God might be one of the most difficult things you have to do as a Jesus follower. We all have deep needs and things in our lives that we want God to move and to act and take care of us, and we pray, and God doesn't say no, but He also doesn't say yes. He just says not yet, or you need to wait. And when that happens, you can become very discouraged. And when that happens, you can decide to make things happen your own way, your own time. But I want to challenge you to take up the Scripture's command and encouragement to wait on the Lord and see that period of waiting not as doing nothing, not as waiting for God to make up His mind, not as waiting for God to figure out exactly what He's going to do. That's not why you wait. The reason why you wait on God is because you are not the person God needs you to be yet in order for Him to pour out the blessings that He wants to pour out on your life. Never forget that God is a good Father, and He wants only good things for His children. And a good father will sometimes say to his children, not now. You're not ready. You have things you need to learn and do. You have character and skills you need to develop. And once that's done, then I'll say yes. And the great example of that we looked at yesterday was in the life of the people of Israel, and Elisha as their leader had been in a season of drought, not a drop of rain for a long, long time. And God said, I'm not going to send you a drop until you dig trenches, until you are prepared to catch every drop of the blessing I'm about to send to your life. So a season of waiting is a season of preparation. A season of waiting on the Lord is a season of working on you. And a great example of this is in the life of David. As a young man, as a teenager, David was anointed the king of Israel. He was set aside. You're the next king. We're going to follow you. Just not yet. It didn't happen overnight. David wasn't king the next day. David didn't get any power or authority the next week. In fact, David wasn't king for years. He had to wait. God still had some things to work in David, and God had some things to work out of David before he could be the king. And during that time, while David was waiting, while David was working on him, while David was growing, David had an added bonus. He had people trying to kill him. The current king, Saul, knew David was going to be the king, and so he raised an army and tried to kill David, and it took years for David to become king. And one day David is sitting in a cave, and he's sad and he's despondent and he's had enough, and he's tired of people trying to kill him, and he writes a song. It's Psalm 27. And he just cries out to God, God, people are trying to kill me. I haven't done anything wrong. You're the one who said I would be king, but here I am waiting on you. When will this end? And he concludes his statement with some things that we need to take and put to heart. He concludes this song by saying, I am confident that I will see the Lord's goodness while I'm here in the land of the living. God's going to give me His goodness before I die. And then he says, wait patiently for the Lord. Be brave, be courageous. Yes, wait on the Lord. So here's two things we must learn to do while we're waiting. And that is to be brave and be courageous. Now, those sound simple, but there's two things you need to know about this. One, being brave and courageous is a choice. You get to choose how you face the circumstances in your life. With bravery, knowing that God is with you, with courageousness, willing to take a step of faith no matter what, or make the second choice, to be afraid and to doubt. If bravery and courageousness are a choice, so are doubt and fear. If you're afraid, if you're doubting, that's just a choice that you have made. You get to control how you feel. You get to control what you think about. And David is saying, while I'm waiting on God, I'm going to be brave and I'm going to be courageous. I'm going to be confident that God is with me, confident that God is going to answer, confident that God is going to see me through this, and therefore I am going to be willing to take the courageous step of growth, the courageous step of faith, the courageous step of risk that I need to take in order for me to become the person God needs me to be, so He can say yes. So today, if you're in a season of waiting, listen to the words of David. Be brave, be strong, wait on the Lord. Bye.